Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. I am an intuitive reader, a manifesting coach, a Reiki practitioner, and a life path guide and mentor here to help you along your awakening journey so that you can co-create the life of your dreams. You are so worthy. My first mentor was a sweet woman. She was probably 75 years old when I first met her. I went to connect with her. She's a psychic medium. After my daughter passed away, I needed to connect. And I would go see her. And then she taught me about my spiritual gifts and kind of helped me grow. And she would always say, "Sweet Michelle, your every hope, your every wish, your every dream is meant to become your reality." And she would grab my hand on her sweet dining room table with little candies and little crystal jars in the center of the table. It was like the perfect grandmother that you could have ever wished for on your spiritual journey. And I was so lucky and blessed to have her. And now I'm here spreading that message to all of you. It's like her and I are doing a dual mission, and with my daughter. But I am here because I want to remind you that the universe is always working in your favor. And if you're feeling stuck on your journey, this is what you can do. I'm going to share it in this video. Recently, one of my clients was going through like a really big drought. Like, talk about like a drought since 2020. She'd been feeling lackluster. She's like, "I don't know what I'm doing wrong. The universe is just not bringing me anything." And she took a couple steps that made something happen. So I wanted to offer this to all of you to let you know that if you're feeling stuck and it's been years, I need you to open up those eyes, ears, and hearts right now. Okay. So we are the creators of our reality. We are the ones telling the universe what we want. And if nothing is showing up, the universe is then reflecting back to us that we are missing something. There's something off about our life. And sometimes we need a coach, we need a healer, we need a psychic medium, we need somebody to kind of mirror back to us where we're at. Because if they've been on the journey ahead of us, they can kind of say, "Oh, I was in that funk too. This is what I did to get out of it." So that's what we're going to talk about today. So settle in. Here we go. So what my client ended up doing was she ended up going part-time with work. And it was kind of like not with the purpose of manifesting. She just was feeling like she wanted to maybe start her own practice. And so she pulled her energy back. And then all of a sudden, she had a little bit more time, a little bit more space. And she was working one-on-one with clients. And anybody that does any kind of healing, therapy, one-on-one with people, when you're engulfed in other people's energy all day long, you need to have a cleansing routine. You need to be aware that you are stepping into somebody else's bubble every single day. And you have to learn how to come back home to your own frame. Your own frame is your auric field. And if you're always in somebody else's energy or with other people, you're picking up their thought patterns. You're picking up their sadness, their fears. And if you don't know the difference and you can't discern between the two, that's going to affect your vibration, your frequency, how you sleep, your energy, everything, which then in turn affects your manifestation abilities. And I like to believe that it's kind of like a, hey, you're not in alignment. The universe is not bringing you anything because we need to get you in alignment, doing what your soul came here to do. So my client went part-time. She had a couple weeks to kind of breathe. She booked the mentorship with me. So we were working on some healing stuff. We were working on things from her past and her family line with her dad's side of the family, mom's side of the family. And she has a fear of being seen, putting herself out there more on social media. And she started to do some things to activate that fear, to push through it, to befriend it, to go towards it. And on a Friday, we had a session. And after the session, I just was like, I prayed to my daughter and I was like, "Micah, please bring my client a manifestation. She just needs some juice. She just needs that good drop-in feeling like, yes, I created something." Well, that weekend, my client felt inspired to start a podcast. She was breaking through her fear of being seen and being heard. And she didn't put it all out there yet, but she had some audio clips already recorded and she created the graphic for her podcast. The minute she created her graphic, she got $500 from the universe. And she had graduated, I think, her master's program, or she did some sort of schooling back in 2020. And she's an older client like me. She's around my age. So she wasn't just graduating like high school or college. So she had gone through some program where she graduated and her mom sent her $500 and said, "This is for your graduation." So that's how we really know it was the universe dropping her that manifestation because she took action to break through her fear. She was doing the one thing that she was scared to do. And then the universe reflected back to her, hey, I'm proud of you. And what better way to get I'm proud of you than from your mom congratulating you on graduating 4 years ago? Like, why would she send $500 from 4 years ago? It is just magic. That's the universe working through other people. So have faith that when you are feeling stuck on your journey, and you just hear this tiny little whisper. I always say, life whispers, listen closely. So, life, your soul, your higher self is going to send you this little whisper. It's going to be like, hey, babe, do this. Start the podcast, start the YouTube channel. And when you don't even have to put yourself out there. When you just take one small action to start it, and then you get feedback, whether it's money, whether it's a person to help you do the podcast, that's also feedback. Everything doesn't have to be about money, but resources start to show up to guide you towards this mission that you're about to step into. You get the manifestations, you're getting the feedback that you're on the right path. And maybe for 4 or 3 years, you weren't doing it. Maybe you had the voice, but maybe it wasn't time yet. My client might not have had the thought to do the podcast 3 years ago because it wasn't time yet. Maybe she needed to work on her healing. Maybe she needed to leave her job. There's so many different factors that come into play. So please don't judge yourselves. Don't beat yourself up. That is all your ego. And I'm going to make another video. I'll link it here if it's not already aired, about the 3 different bubbles that we can live in. Okay, so my client moved from one bubble that I'm going to teach about in that video into a center bubble, and then she moved into the 3rd bubble, which really activated her desire. So I'm going to teach about that in that next video. Stay tuned or click on it here. You're going to love that one. But this really works. When we step through that discomfort of the unknown or your fear or whatever it is, when you take that action, you get confirmation back. The universe is saying, I see you and I'm so proud of you. And I believe it's like our higher self doing it too. Our higher self is like, yes, you got the memo, you did the assignment, and you're just on the right track. So this message today is to let you know that if you've been stuck for months or for years, what is one thing that you can take action on today that could get the ball rolling in a different direction, that could start momentum flowing? Okay, sometimes it's just the one action, or maybe the energetic commitment. Hey, I just got this idea to start this. I think I'm going to start. And you just commit to it and then see what kind of unfolds in your life. And if you are starting something and you start to feel a bunch of resistance around it, that could also be a sign that you're on the wrong trajectory. And you might need to change gears. You might need to stop working with certain people. I know that I was trying to start like a small business with a guy friend. He's amazing. If he's watching, hi. We were going to do this like mindful heart business together. And something in me just said, no, Michelle, you need to learn how to do it on your own. This is you. This is going to be your YouTube channel, and he could have been a part of it, but it just felt right that I do it by myself to start. And I had to learn it all by myself. So I was thinking that I needed somebody to save me back then, and I couldn't do things on my own. And I needed a business partner because I was scared. My whole life I grew up, I was the youngest of 4 kids. My older siblings did everything for me. If Michelle was doing something wrong, they took it out of my hands and did my homework for me. So I was so enabled and just wasn't a problem solver. I didn't know how to do anything on my own. So I teach that to my nieces and my nephews now. My one sister has 4 kids. Little side note here, you guys can fast forward this part of the video, but I recommend this if you have children, or if you have nieces or nephews or grandchildren or siblings, please do this with your children. I pull aside my sister's kids and my brother's kids, and I tell them like, hey, the youngest out of the 4, I say, hey, he's like me, and please don't do things for him. If he's wanting to learn how to do something, don't just like hurry up and do it for him so you guys can move on and maybe go where the family's needing to go at that time. Like everybody's waiting for so-and-so to get their homework done. Don't go do it for him. Assist him, sit with him, give him support, say, hey, I'm here if you have any questions. And I teach my nieces and my nephews how to allow each other to figure it out on their own. We do not need people to save us, okay? We can do it on our own. But when we take action like my client did, that's when we get the assistance. That's when we get the money. That's when we get the support. That's when we get the love. Like, how beautiful is it that our mom thought to do that? Whether it was the universe jumping in her mom's body to say, hey, we're going to give her this money to support her on her mission. So support yourself. Know that you don't need somebody to help you do it. But when you start doing it, you get all the help in the world from the universe. So then you don't feel alone. And you are going to slip and fall and you are going to fail. And that's okay. I've tried so many different things. You guys, I tried to start my own journal line on Amazon. And it was a quick door shut. Literally, Amazon closed my KDP account because they said I copyrighted one of my journal titles. I made up the journal by myself. I channeled it myself, but apparently somebody else maybe already had one of the lines. I think it was like Adventure Time, Let the Journey Begin or something. And I think somebody else had Let the Journey Begin as their journal topic. So they completely closed my entire account. They didn't give me a warning. They didn't give me any of my earnings of all the journals that I had already sold. I was pissed, but I see that as the universe saying, no, Michelle, it's not your path right now. You're not meant to be doing that. You're not meant to be making journals when we need you on YouTube sharing your teachings. I can do the journals later. But it was just cool to see that that felt like a failure, but it was a redirection. So rejection, a door shutting, is moving you to another door. So open up your energy, know that you are going to get doors shut in your face, and it's okay. It's a redirection. But you can know when the universe is working in your favor when you take action, when you ask for more, when you're willing to follow that fear that feels a little icky and tight in your chest and in your belly. You're like, oh, I can't put myself out there. This feels vulnerable. I don't know if I can do it. Just do it. There's an entire audience out there waiting for your voice, for your signature, for your energy. I mean, look, I found all of you guys. You guys found me, right? Imagine if I didn't exist. Imagine if my channel was not here. And some of you always say, Michelle, I start my morning with you. I listen to your videos while I get ready, or I listen on my walks, or you say you listen twice a day. Imagine if I never started. You know, you wouldn't have the knowledge that maybe I teach you, or the energy, or the love, or the understanding around how much the universe is really here to support you through me. And if I didn't step through my fear to be here, then you guys wouldn't have that. So remember that about yourself. I want more of you. I want to see all of you on YouTube. I want to see all of you maybe doing what you're meant to be doing, and send me emails and let me know you're doing it if it's not on social media and I can't physically see it. But you're needed. There's a whole audience. I love thinking that way. There's a whole audience just chilling in a theater, in an auditorium, in their homes, waiting for you to hop on the screen and deliver the messages that are unique to you. And remember, I just told my client this the other day, another one, because he wants to start a YouTube channel. And I was like, listen, I was like, you can take the same message that I teach, that another YouTuber teaches, and you can duplicate it. You can teach the same topics, but when you do it, people are going to hear it differently. You know, people might hear it differently the way I teach it. You know, some people comment on my channel, they're like, I've heard these manifestation teachings over and over again, but the way you say it clicks for me. And that's the same for all of you. So knowing that about yourself, knowing that you have this message, this way of delivering it that is so juicy and so good, and you could be saying the same thing that I'm saying, but people will listen to you more. So remember that when you get that fear that's like, oh, I don't want to put myself out there. I can't, it's too scary. Screw that voice. That is your ego. We are not listening to that, because that is going to try to hunt you down your entire life, keeping you from being happy. And we see that voice and we say, no freaking way. You are not going to stop me from helping my audience. You're not going to stop me from feeling joy when I close the computer after I'm done filming, and then realizing this is the good feeling I've been missing my entire life. Your mission is the best feeling on the planet. So let's get you on it. I just went on a little tangent there. Sorry, guys. But if you need help, if you need this motivation in your life, book a session with me. I will get you on your mission. I will get you out there to your audience, and you're going to feel freaking amazing. It is the best feeling on the planet to be in alignment. Take action on the small things. All right, lovies, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Thank you so much for supporting me and my channel, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace out.